Facing the lions, facing the lions. Good morning, and welcome to Vibe Talk, Facing the Lion. It is Monday, and you know what that means? It's time to get motivated. And we're going to be talking about Motivation Monday. Our theme is going to be on calming the chaos. How many of you out there have chaos in your life? Do yourself a favor this morning and allow yourself to be able to call in. Our direct connect is 661-503-8993. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to find out and be motivated today on how to calm chaos. And if there's any chaos in your life, we certainly want you to think about where you're headed with it. So we're going to talk about that. We want to say thank you for joining us this day. And for those of you who are just coming in, we love to have you. Please keep in mind that all of our podcasts are recorded, and we are in our 3-year celebration of Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. I'm looking forward to 2024 in this beautiful project for Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. We have had so many people that have honestly checked us out, and we appreciate them so much. I just gotta tell you guys how I feel about that. And I want to tell you something too that happened, and you're never prepared for it, but it's good news. On our share of on our share of reels, we have a reel that's up, and here it is. It encourages all of us to think about a time to love ourselves, to start loving ourselves. I put that up over the weekend, and I've just got to tell you, there are 3,000 people that liked and viewed that reel. I want to say thank you from all over. You have liked that reel. That is the highest reel that we've ever gotten. I think our second highest was this one, 1,000. That one was on Brave as Being Able to Face Your Feelings. And wow. So I want to say thank you. I am thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for my sister, who indeed helped me come through something very hard. I am thankful for the gift in her. very thankful. And I want to say a special thank you to her for helping me get through. Everyone needs someone like that in their lives. Everyone. So, as we are thinking about ourselves, I also want to be gracious to thank those of you who are taking the time just to like our pages. We are 3 people away from 300 followers. 3 people away. Why does it matter? Because we are in year 3. So if 3 more of you like our Facebook page, well, guess what? Those 3 are going to be able to make our page 300 followers for our year 3. We're so grateful to all of you for supporting Vibe Talk Facing the Lion page. We are so grateful for that, and I feel indebted to all of you just for liking the page. I know that I want to thank so many of you. Michael Belize. Michael, thank you so much. Tacoma, Washington is where he is from. And Mercedes Navarro, thank you so much. And let's see. Cassidy White, thank you for noticing our page. Elena Riley, thank you, from Huntington Station, New York. Thank you. Mia, good morning and welcome. As you join Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, we're talking about chaos and how we're going to comment, but first we're giving thanks to people who have noticed our page. If you haven't found our page, it is on Facebook, Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. Good morning, Robert. We'd like for you all to tell us where you're listening in from, please, and thank you. Elena, thank you. Huntington Station, New York. And what are you all thankful for today? Matthew Fernandez, thank you. All the way from Madera, California. Thank you so much. And Rachel Leahy, thank you, from Altoona, Pennsylvania. Thank you. We like to always give you guys thanks by name because we appreciate you. You are tuning in each day. You're being able to gain something from Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. I'm able always to share this personal podcast with so many of you. And by our reels, you all are liking our page. Please like and follow our page if you find that this podcast is doing you some good. We want to say thank you. Thank you for being able to find and follow. We appreciate the many people that like and follow. I'm going to tell you right now that it's so important. It's so important that you all know who we are. Good morning, Ramos. And where are you listening in from? And we want to say thank you to our 255 followers on Vibe Talk. Now it is actually 297 people who like it. So we are 3 people away from 300 people. I'm so happy about that. So we want to say thank you. So we're going to be right back. What are you thankful for in the meantime? You can go ahead and put it in the comments. We'll be right back.
'Cause we're called Live Talk, Racing the Lion Podcast. Go check your favorite streaming platforms.
Feel free to be interactive and tell us your story.
Like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube, and so much more.
We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Go give it a shot.
We're back. Chaos. You have any chaos in your life at this point? We're going to talk about this, and hopefully this will motivate you to become calm. Let's talk about it, because sometimes we have to look at chaos for what chaos really means. Disorder, confusion, uproar, anarchy. I like this one, all hell broken loose, a madhouse. What have you? Thank you, love you. That was my nephew, and I appreciate that. We're here, and we want to talk about that. In order for us to recognize chaos, we must define it. And I have a project that we usually do on Wednesday Wellness, and I want you guys to be thinking about it. Draw something that looks like chaos to you, or write about something that feels like chaos to you. It's important to connect with our feelings. Connection. So, do you feel like there's disruption, upheaval, a frenzy? It's everything going on as if you have been in some sort of upheaval in your life. So when you have chaos, what exactly do you do when there's chaos? There's a lot of people that I've worked with since I've been doing this that live in complete chaos. Now, let me just say that you're living in chaos challenges you. And think about how it challenges you, because you're being challenged is one way to think about your behavior and your actions, how you are going to respond when life becomes chaotic. Now, we're here on this Motivational Monday to help you get through your challenges. And I just want to let you know that getting through chaos means that you and I will have to challenge ourselves. And we're going to find out how we do that. But first, we need to be thinking about what is disorderly in our lives. What do you think is disorderly in your life, and how would you like to change it? That's the question. What is the chaos in your life, and how would you go about changing it if you want to? You know, sometimes we can think about chaos as if it were jumbled up scribble. I had the opportunity to look on the website at some images that I really wanted to get a mental picture of. And sometimes our life looks like that. Have you ever just gotten caught in what looks like jumbling? Life becomes chaotic just like that. When was the last time you felt that your life was a mess? And believe me, I feel like that much of the time. Sometimes when our mind is chaotic, everything that we do becomes that mental picture. So what do we do when our life is disrupted, or it's messy, and it's in a pile of just upheaval? If you are listening to this podcast, I would love for you to draw what chaos looks like. Send a picture in. You can do that by our Facebook page. We even have Instagram. We have also right here on Facebook. By the way, our episodes are streaming. We are behind Good Morning Lindsay. Love that name. Lindsay has joined in our podcast. It's interactive. Lindsay, have you ever felt like your life was chaotic? And what are you doing if your life is feeling that way? How do you manage it? Because today we're going to talk about that. And Lindsay, where are you listening in from? Our podcast is based out of Southern California. And I want to say welcome, one and all. We are on Facebook. We are again 3 people away from 300 people that like and follow us. I'm so excited about that because we're celebrating 3 years of Vibe Talk. I am a certified professional life and wellness coach, helping you to strategize as I'm helping myself to do the same. Because I'm no better than you. We're not doctors, but if you need any kind of professional help other than a life coach, we have many referrals. We are not doctors by any means. So, chaotic. Is that you? Or do you know of someone who is chaotic, confused, disorderly, behavior is out of order? We know of people like that. So today I thought would be a good day to really hone in to what that means for you and I. Our podcast, as you come into our podcast, I want you to know that we do not tell you what to do. Instead, we motivate you to do what you need to do. Getting connected, staying aware, being positive, and facing your lions. We're going to be right back. Please stay with us, And we are Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. We'll be right back. Did you know that Vibe Talk Facing the Lion has individual and group sessions? Join now our group session, strictly voluntary basis. Stay connected with Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast.
'Cause we're called Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Go check your favorite streaming platforms
Feel free to be interactive and tell us your
like
story.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube, and so much more.
We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Go give it a shot.
So what do you do when chaos fills your life? You have a chat box, and if you do, you may put in your thoughts as well as call in your thoughts. 661-503-8993. And that is a strictly Vibe Talk Direct Connect. Strictly Vibe Talk Direct Connect. So what do we do when your life feels chaos? We're going to talk about that because so many people still are trying to manage chaos. How many of you know people that create chaos in your life? And you say, wow, every time that person comes around, my life gets chaotic. Sometimes we refer to them as friends and family members. We're going to learn something today. We know that chaos faces each and every one of us. We know that those times face us where we feel like it's taken over our life. Everyday things. Your life feels nothing but chaos. And you want to scream. Yeah. Just like that. How many of you have ever felt that emotion because of chaos? You are not alone, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll guarantee you, people that I have worked with have experienced extreme chaos. Sometimes our life and times create chaotic moments. We're going to give you examples. One woman had 5 kids, homeschooling every one of them. While staying in a temporary housing situation. Do you think that was chaos? Do you think that was hard to try and figure things out? I'll tell you right now, I would not want to have been in those shoes. If we've experienced chaos in our life, we have experienced it differently. And that's what Vibe Talk is all about. Managing ourselves, getting connected to our feelings and our emotions, and learning to face challenges which are very lion-like at times. If you've lived life long enough, You have become familiar. You know that in your lifetime there has been chaos. Right now, as you listen to this podcast, you may be experiencing some sort of chaos. Some sort of chaos. Some are planned, some are unforeseeable. But now, think about this. When you think about things that happen in life, people have new babies, they have unforeseen things, things that are planned, and there are things that you do prepare for because of the coming chaos. And maybe your oncoming chaos is not foreseeable. It springs up. Like moving. How many of you have moved? And I like the thought of thinking about moving because moving is chaotic. For the movers, for every family member that has ever had to experience moving, that is best described as complete chaos. No matter how orderly you make things, moving is always chaos. Who of you out there in that world where we are bringing this podcast to has felt that type of chaos? Now, another scenario may be helping a close friend. How many of you have helped close friends? You've helped close friends, and you saw the chaos, and you say, wow, I can't believe they're really getting through this. How do they do it? Now, some point in your life, you may feel chaos invades your life. We know that you're out there. Chaos creates for you your every thought, your emotions, and your energy. Some chaos presents difficulty. Come closer. When I say come closer, that means to listen carefully. I said some chaos presents difficulty. Some chaos in its time and seasons are unexpected losses. Now, as I sit here in my home studio, we have all experienced loss of someone, directly or indirectly. We think about the timing of that because no one adjusts to that. If you've ever lost someone, whether it's an illness, a traumatic accident, we want you to know you are not alone, and you don't have to be alone. We want you to be able to talk about your feelings because the mind gets chaotic. I want you to picture in your mind, and if you don't have a piece of paper right now, I want you to mentally foresee in your mind taking out a piece of paper and scribbling on that paper. Scribbling on that paper. That, my friend, as you are done with that assignment, I want you to take a look at it. Is that how your brain feels? Messy, unorganized, can't seem to make out clearly what the unforeseeable is going to look like once it is calm down. What I want you to know is your struggle is not alone. You just have to figure out what that chaos is. You know, some people come in and they say, my life is chaotic. You ask them, why is your life chaotic? I don't know, I just feel chaotic. That is simply not enough to just say you feel chaos. Because, see, everyone can do the mentioned assignment to scribble. But now when you start to make out what your chaos feels and look like, you're able to clarify, regulate your experience with the emotion. Because you will grow from the chaos and you will start to clearly identify what is the chaos. After you're able to analyze. And no one is able to clearly do that for you but you. When you analyze your chaos, you're able to define, my life is chaotic, and you fill in the blank. See, not expecting someone to figure out what your chaos is. You know, I can look at something and say, wow, their life is really chaotic. Or they're experiencing a bunch of chaos. But that's my perception. What we do in Vibe Talk is help you to discover what chaos looks like to you. You know, we have people that are busy working. Remember when I talked about the scenario of the lady with the 5 kids? I don't have 5 kids that I have to homeschool. But she is able to identify what it looks like. How about you? Abel, good morning and welcome. As you all come in, please let us know where you're from, what state. We love your states. We have contacted all of our states here in the United States with some countries and continents. This is our 3rd year for Vibe Talk. So what is your chaos? And can you define it? Because I'll tell you what, if you can't clearly define it, there is no calming of the chaos. Because if you don't know what it is, I don't know what it is. So let's stay connected. How many of you have felt that one thing after another gets piled up? We're going to be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.
'Cause we're called Vibe Talk, Facing the Lion podcast. Go check your favorite streaming platforms.
Feel free to be interactive and tell us your
Like
story.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube, and so much more.
We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Go give it a shot.
Did you know that Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast has a YouTube channel? Go click that button and subscribe. Thank you for your support.
Facing the lions, facing the lions.
We're back. I want to thank you all for joining us from wherever you are. So life looks like it's piling on top of you. I want you to think about this. It doesn't have to be bad or challenging. It can be something that's really good. But we're talking about chaos. Stressful. And you do it again and again. And it spirals. We understand about you living in chaos because the same cycle happens over and over again, and it is completely overwhelming. I'm speaking from experience. How many of you feel ashamed of chaos that you may be going through right in this present moment? If you're feeling that way, I want to motivate you to know there is no shame in chaos. Come a little closer. That means really hear me. There is no shame in chaos. Sometimes we are in the habit of wanting to control everything that happens in our life. We want to be able to predict everything, dictate everything in our life. We want to be in control of it. How many of you want to be in control of every little thing that happens in your life? Well, that's impossible. You can't be in control of every little thing that happens in your life. Not only can you not be in control of every little thing in your life, how many times has it not worked out for you in the chaos of life exactly as you planned it? You know, I used to believe, my goodness, if anything chaotic happened in my life, what was I to do? Until I learned better. There's a saying, when you learn better, you do better. Let's learn together. You cannot expect everything to be perfect. How many of you have a completely perfect life? You know what I had to learn? That if I had planned out a day and I had something happen like a curveball, unexpected something, I don't know, car breakdown, kids get sick, I had to learn my strengths during the chaos. Not to get all flustered, upheavaled, disarrayed. I had to learn that there would be chaos. That's part of life. You know, chaos in our life is inevitable. I want you to know that to experience chaos is not the death of you, is not beneath you, is not above you, but in fact, you are going to build your character. You're going to build your strength. You're going to find and discover strength in chaos. So let's find out how we experience strength through our chaotic life. How will you handle strength or chaos to get to the strength? What will you do the next time that you feel chaos? Because I'll tell you, I felt it in my lifetime of 56 years of age. Now, what you do with it or what you don't do with it will make the difference. How many of you agree with that? Anybody? Because you're all right now thinking about the chaos in your life. You know, some of us dismiss chaos. We let it get out of control. But I say to you, take back those chaotic moments. Learn to empower yourself. Learn to become strong, strengthen, welcome, and embrace. Because by your response, whether it's you're living, you're becoming stronger, or it's a horrific mess. Because life is just like that scribbling. You just get in a mess of things. But now, what do you do? I remember one time during a period of my life, I screamed until I couldn't scream it out anymore. Well, what was the result of that? My lungs hurt. See, I had a reaction to the chaos that hit. But now, how did that help me? Nothing solved, because from that was the response to the chaos. Are there better ways? Or do we just give up in our reaction? See, we want a long-term resolution to the chaos and the chaotic moments in our life. We're going to go through some steps. Especially will it help those who are experiencing chaos. I want you to think back in your mind, what is chaos right now in this present moment? Because as you all listen, you're all experiencing something that may be very chaotic. In this Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, I've helped many of my clients do what is a breathing technique. Now, wherever you are, you can do this. Even if you're driving, I want you to be able to breathe in and breathe out. And I want you to take a deep breath as you count to 10. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do this together, because I like to work through with my clients. Let's do it together. Ready? as we get to 10, I want you to reflect on how you felt before you started to do that. See, the breathing technique is good because it helps you to focus on what is going on inside of you. When you're breathing in and out, I'm able to pay attention to how my heart beats. And that's important for me because I have high blood pressure. See, I got high blood pressure as a result of my response to the chaos that I once lived. That's what I got. So now that I have the high blood pressure, I need to work on lowering, of course, with the needed health things that I need. And I want whoever's out there that has high blood pressure, keep taking your medical need to lower that blood pressure. In addition to that, you can do the breathing. Because we get all in a frenzy when our life starts to get in an upheaval. When we start to feel chaotic. You see, because when we react to something, our heart begins to feel chaotic. When we are breathing in and out, we are paying attention to our breathing. I think this is very important in my working with my clients. Your breathing is essential to your living. But if you act as if you are in a frenzy much of the time, or your life feels out of control, your heart reacts to that breathing. But I want you to notice something. That is, if you're done breathing in and out while counting to 10. When you are in your middle or in your seasons of chaos, while you're breathing, you are taking deep breaths. You're releasing that deep breath, and you are able to pause. If you get the opportunity on our YouTube page, where all of our podcasts are posted, and even on our Facebook page by hashtagging Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast, you can hear a podcast called Pause. In over 3 years, we have had that posted. When we pause, when you take deep breaths, you are pausing. And I want to liken it like this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're reading and there was no pause, your reading would be not too clear, because you would be reading at a fast, hurried pace. But now that you are breathing and you are calming the chaos, you're able to pause. See, when there's a pause, you're able to reflect. You're able to slow down. And all that chaos that's in your mental mindset, you are embracing calmness. Some people don't know how to be calm. My kids used to always say to me, "Mom, you are not calm in situations," because I panic. I'm the panicker. So if something happens, you don't want to be with me when something chaotic happens. So I had to learn this, to pause, speaking from experience. So you have to understand that chaos feeds on your hurried selves. And that's why deep breaths are so vital. Because it teaches you to pause. But I understand. Who wants to pause when you're in the middle of something that's chaotic? Because it's chaotic. Your heart does your body good when you think about those chaotic times. To slow down and breathe. Technique. Your chaos does not call the shots in your life. You must claim them. Your chaos does not call the shots in your life. Sometimes we cater to the chaos. You ever heard of created chaos? Literally, I have talked to people that create their own chaos and don't even recognize it. How's that? If there's any of you like that, please write in. Tell us how it has made you feel. How do we force ourselves to calm down? That's something to think about. We're going to be right back, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to help you discover yourself in helping you to calm down. Stay with us here at Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. We'll be right back.
Facing the lions, facing the lions.
Did you know that Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast invites you, embraces you to call our direct connect line exclusively for you at 661-503-8993. You can send a text and voicemail or directly connect. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast direct connect.
Cause we're called Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Go check your favorite streaming platforms.
Feel free to be interactive and tell us your
Like
story.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube, and so much more.
We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Go give it a shot.
You know, my kids always say, Mom, calm down. Calm down. Because you see, when something chaotic happens, I breed chaos because I'm chaotic because of the chaos. Does that make sense to anybody? So I become in my feelings. I'm all in my feelings because, hey, it's chaotic and I'm feeling chaos and my heart is beating fast. So now I understand why my kids tell me to calm down, because I'm making the situation more chaotic than what it needs to be. So, in your life, you have to figure out when does your chaos start? And when it starts, how does it make you feel? It does your body good to say, calm down. Calm down. My kids have been telling me that for years, until one day I finally had to realize, hey, if I don't calm down, I'm going to have some kind of heart attack or stroke. It can happen to young people too. Always remember that chaos breeds chaos. And we've all been through those moments where we have so much chaos, we start to react to the chaos, which is creating more chaos. And then you start to feel like your life is spiraling down. It is indeed like the game of Chutes and Ladders. And I know we've all played that game, Chutes and Ladders. Your life is on a spiral, up and down, until you begin to spiral out of control. But now, let's take this scenario. What if you decided that you wanted to stop the chaos? What would it take for you to stop the chaos? I will be right back. We've got to go to a commercial break, guys, so stay with us. What would it take for you to stop the chaos? I'll be right back.
'Cause we're called Light Talk, Facing the Lion podcast. Go check your favorite streaming platforms
Feel free to be interactive and tell us your
like
stories.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube, and so much more.
We're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Go give it a shot.
So, in your life, what would it take for you to stop the chaos? Because the chaos in your life is manageable by your managing yourself. You can manage no one else, but you can indeed stop the chaos. We're going to go back to childhood. You heard me mention the Chutes and Ladders game if you've ever played that. But how many of you have ever gotten on a slide or watched your child get on the slide? They walk up, they climb to the stairs, and the whole time they want you to watch them. Every parent has done this. They've experienced their child stopping as he climbs the last stair, and he sits down. He's a little skeptical about doing what? Taking the plunge. Every parent has witnessed this. Taking the plunge, taking the first ride down that slide. And that's how some of us are. We have the chaos in our life, but we say we don't know how to stop it. Some of us have become immune to chaos. How many of you are immune to chaos in your life? I literally know people like this. They're immune, or they dismiss the chaos. Be more like that child who's going to take his first plunge down that slide. And unbeknownst to all of us, we're like that child, because that child is stressed for the very first time. That's called risk taking, because once he stops the fear, he's accepted the risk. Because he's stopped the fear. I'm going to say that again. Come closer. He has stopped the fear and accepted the risk. What am I saying to you? That if you stop the chaos, you will risk receiving calmness. I don't know why, but some people refuse to accept calmness in their life. But they've got to take the risk. They've got to stop. Just like a child does on the very first ride on the slide. Because if not, you're going to keep climbing the stairs to chaos. And you're going to experience it over and over again unless you stop and think about taking the risk and accepting or stopping the fear and accepting the risk. Some of you believe that chaos is acceptable. Some cases, life may feel acceptable. You learn, you grow, you gain strength. But you have to unravel the spiraling, unravel the scribbling of your life and define. What chaos do I want? What chaos is not healthy? You see, because I learned through my children that the chaos that I was doing to my own self in chaotic moments, I needed to stop that. And I needed to be calm. Being calm was like a foreign word to me because I always had to react. But more than react, I need to respond. Reaction and response are two different things. So now, your chaos. I'm not going to promise you that it's going to leave you, but here's what I will say. If it's still there, pause. It's your reaction that you will notice. Because you see, what I've just told you, I've experienced that. What have I got to lose if I'm not panicked because of a chaotic or chaos situation? What have I got to lose? Well, the intense chaos. I now know how to react. And I have noticed within myself dramatic change. You must choose your action. Some people live in very chaotic households. You can tell that by even looking at their homes. You ever been in a person's home and you just know they live in chaos? Everything's out of order. I don't call it unclean, I call it disorder. We have some people who are very orderly. Then we have some people who are not orderly. But when your home is in disarray, everything around that home is in disarray. You feel it. It's the volume of the energy. Disarray. Disorderly. I used to always say, because I have a lot of clothes. And I will just put my clothes in my closet. I do that a lot. But on the days that I'm not orderly, my room looks like something blew up. Why is that? Because at that time, my mind state is disorderly. Some of you are living in literal houses like that. But now we're going to recenter and we're going to talk about the house of your mind, the house of your body. When you are in disarray, your brain looks exactly like my closet. Your soul feels exactly like that closet. I saw a beautiful picture today. And I thought to myself, I'll use this to explain it. The image never left my mind. It was of a picture with cookies and milk. And in the picture, you could just imagine that the jar had blew off its top and out was spilling milk and cookies broken into pieces. How many of us like milk and cookies? We all do. We all do. But now, the gist of that picture was that we may like the way chaos looks, but how far have we gotten from the refreshment of calmness? Let's get back to the environment of what calm feels like, because I saw in my perception milk and cookies that had just blown up all over the table. Such a beautiful illustration. If our life is chaotic, let's reflect on the moment. Sometimes we're so wrapped up. You notice even when people are wrapped up in the chaos, they have the nerve to tell other people about their chaos. And what's your response to them? They sure got a nerve to tell me that. Who are they to tell me? Well, they're the best people to tell you about the chaos because they live in the chaos and you're seeing it in their housed body. But now, how do we get to the calm? If you are praying people, because I know I pray, it helps you to begin to think about peace and calm. Things you're thankful for. Things that you can mention in your prayer that you're thankful for. Reflection. Because if everybody chooses chaos, do you have to choose chaos? I want to enlighten you to discover something about yourself as I discovered that I don't have to react to chaos. Your heart, your mind, and your house body, your inside, your inner self, the deepest part of you, does not have to live in chaos. Is that an eye-opener for you? I want to say that again. Your house body, your mind, your inner soul does not have to live in chaos. You can choose. I want you to think about the motivation part on this Motivation Monday. Your mindset, your brain, your heart, can think about the things that bring you calm. We think about gratitude. Every morning when we come in, I always ask the question, if you go back to day one, what are you thankful for? How many of you have thought amidst all the chaos that you've ever went through, what you were thankful for? When you think about that, when you focus on the positive, think about the things that are causing you chaos and keeping you from calm. Seeing the positive, I want you to pause. now that you can identify, or now that we've clarified what chaos looks like? What are you grateful for? What do you learn from the chaos? Because we all learn something from chaos. Either we're going to try to manage the chaos, if it's inevitable, if it's a time and a season for it, what are we going to do? Because my favorite thing was always to panic. But I learned what it does to the body. I've now got high blood pressure because of that. But now when you think about what you're grateful for, and I don't want you to dismiss your chaos. I want you to start thinking about, in your life, what is causing the chaos. Vibe Talk Facing the Lion is all about facing it. When life hits with the chaos, how does it make you feel? Because I'll tell you what, chaos can take over your life. It can stop you dead in where you're at right at this very moment and cause you to do just that. Stop. When that starts to happen, it creates much confusion. You're in the direction of, I don't know what to do, street. I'm at a dead lane in. I don't know where to start, path. And what happens? You do absolutely nothing. You know what we call that? That you cease to live because your life is so chaotic. You ever saw a person giving in to the chaos? They just gave in. You don't have to ask them if they're feeling chaos, because their house is going to tell you. Literally, their yards are going to tell you. But your house body tells you about your chaos. I want you to be able to figure out, what do I do next? Pausing. Because when you're pausing, that means that you have reflected. You have thought about it. And now you're going to put your pausing into action. I want you to think about what is the right thing for you to do. Sometimes life seems and appears to be so chaotic, you just give in. Do nothing. But I want your choice to face in the direction of motivation, taking one step at a time. And going to the direction of challenging yourself, moving in the right direction to be better than you were yesterday, to make best decisions. You're always going to have chaos, some sort of chaos, but it's the managing. Life will feel like everything's crazy. Life will sometimes feel like you are crazy. Because I've been there where it made me feel like I was crazy. But I want you to start living. When you start living your life into greatness, or being better than you were, or reacting to the chaos in your life, because you're going to have seasons of chaos, periods, times. Seasons are different than a lifestyle of chaos. Some of us live lifestyles of chaos. Remember that. What do you choose? We gave you at the start of our conversations what chaos looked like. But chaos should be just a season, not a lifestyle. We can create better times for ourselves so things are not so chaotic. And many of you have been through some very traumatic chaos, real chaos. We don't want to dismiss that. You know, moving, I like using that because that is one of the greatest times where you feel chaotic. Boxes everywhere, you're trying to figure out what goes where, how you're going to live your daily life. Somehow we all manage it. We unpack our boxes and we individually start placing things where they belong. So in a very real, metaphoric way, I want you to unpack your box, unpack your mind. What looks like a mess, what looks like a loaded box, start unloading them one by one. One by one. I've even, when it's been time to move, done one room at a time, just to have order. One thing at a time. Give your mindset priority, your reaction priority, how you're going to react. Because I'll tell you what's going to be a big help is that you are able to keep your house, your inside living, your body, your soul, your mind you're going to be able to focus and reflect, and you're going to be able to gain some stability during all the chaos. All of it. I want to thank all of you for being here. And in the meantime, I want you to be motivated to thank yourself for some of the chaoses that you have come through, that I have come through. Because chaos doesn't mean catastrophe. Doesn't have to mean catastrophe. When something really is major and chaotic in your life, you move through it, you've gotten through it, you've grown from it, you've gathered a sense of strength and courage. Thank yourself for those times of chaos. You know, like I told you how I'm terrible when things are chaotic and my kids are telling me, Mom, calm down. Mom, calm down. Mom, we hate telling you stuff because you make a chaotic situation. Those were the things that gave me strength, because I saw how it would affect my children and I needed to calm down. Calm down. We had a severe weather storm a few months back. And in the midst of all the storms, I remained calmed. And you see, the calmness was because things were chaotic. My grandbaby, who is 4 years old, all I could think about is his safety. As the news reports were coming, we were getting severe rain. Then it said we were getting an earthquake. You know, if there ever is a time to panic, I don't know about you, but I panicked during these warnings as I could see them. But then I remembered my grandson, and I said to my son, his father, there's going to be an earthquake. Because I've never heard of anything like that. I was unusually calm. Why? Because you see, I realized that other lives were involved. My life was important, but the littlest in the house, I had to be calm for him. You will discover your calmness through chaotic moments. And if you've had that, we want to hear about it. That's our Vibe Talk question. What do you do when chaos happens? And having calmness during the chaos. If you got a story, we want to hear about it. We'll talk about it. And we'll even mention you. Even when we're feeling chaos. It's okay not to be okay for that day. You know, I'm always the person that have to have dishes done, house clean, but sometimes we're not up to it. But I'm asking you today to be motivated to think about calming your chaos. We have resources for those of you who are in counseling and therapy. We are not by any means medical professionals. I am a certified life coach. I want to thank all of you. We take the opportunity to say in our podcast at the end, what did you learn from this podcast today? And we'll take those too. As you hear our podcast, please feel free to write down. If you have questions, you can always text. Again, that number is 661-503-8993. That is direct connection to Vibe Talk Facing the Lion. I want to thank all of you for listening in. All of you for liking the website. If you're feeling like you want to share it, go ahead and do that. I don't mind. Even to use it as part of a teaching tool, I give you all permission to do that without dubbing the voice. Because these are useful things, and it is for your mental and emotional health. Thank you, everybody. What I've learned is that I've discovered calmness. That I can be calm during the chaos. The chaos reminds me very much of a very thunderous day. You ever had in your areas where you live heavy storm rain? Thunder and lightning, it's chaotic. Even the animals are reacting chaotically. We know at the end of that storm is going to be calm. And that's the way life is. I've discovered that. What did you discover about calming chaos? If you have any questions, you want to make an appointment with me, you can find me by messaging me directly. We want to take the opportunity to say happy anniversary, 3 years and counting for Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Until next time, we're hoping that you will join us for another edition of Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast. Thank you all for joining, and I wish you more of calming the chaos wherever you are. Have a good day. Thank you. Because I don't want you just to make a resolution. I want you to think about
it's really about the norms, and then I got the vibe with it. I really took the time.